Welcome class to this week, and we are going to cover current events. What happens in the 80s, in 90s, and it feels like the history of Latinx or Latinos in the US is so connected to the immigration policies of this country. And we're gonna see why. The administration of President Ronald Reagan, who came to power in 1981, continued to get involved in fighting against communism in Central America. Large-scale migration to the US from Central America began as hundreds of thousands of Salvadorians, Guatemalans, and Nicaraguans fled north from civil war, repression, and economic devastation. It is estimated that between 1981 and 1990, almost 1 million Salvadorians and Guatemalans entered through the border. Thousands traveled undetected to major cities such as LA, San Francisco, Boston, New York, and Chicago. However, thousands were also detained at the border. The Justice Department and INS at that time discouraged Salvadorians and Guatemalans from applying for political asylum. Thousands were deported without ever having the opportunity to receive any legal consultation. The unfair treatment of these migrants was a violation of the U.S. obligation under the 1951 Refugee Convention. During the early 1980s, you have church leaders who started a movement known as Sanctuary Movement. It provided safe haven for Central American refugees fleeing the Civil War conflict. The movement was a response to federal immigration policy that made obtaining asylum difficult for Central Americans. If that sounds similar to our current controversy with ICE and how the current Trump administration wants to punish those states who wants to protect undocumented or they label themselves as sanctuary states. In 1990, after its earlier frustration to address the Central American asylum seeker, Congress finally passed legislation allowing the president to grant what is known as TPS, which is temporary protected status, to certain groups in need of a temporary safe haven. A TPS is not a path to become a permanent resident. This unit might resonate with a lot of the current policies that we have today at the border. It was also during Reagan administration that won approval of the US-Canada Free Trade Agreement in 1988. That agreement soon expanded to include Mexico in what became the North America Free Trade Agreement. NAFTA also intended to cut down undocumented immigration by creating jobs at the border. At that time, the US started building new border walls and adding more border agents along the 2,000-mile border. Throughout the 90s, anti-immigration policies continued to be a part of the US, and that's what we are going to cover in our next unit.